Today is October 29th, 2025. I'm on Hoge. We're doing a sewer camera inspection. Access point is located in the basement. This is in the right rear of the basement with the furnace, water heater, and electric panel. We've got a 4-inch PVC main stack as our entry, and the report is as follows. Alright, so from the home inspection, I know that this pipe is actually going to drop down, maybe a small intersection like we see here, and then the pipe is going to actually drop down and through into the crawl space. Based on the angle in which it went into the crawl space, I am fairly confident that it is going to end up going into the rear yard. So we'll follow this through. So everything we're seeing here, this is Schedule 40 PVC. This is what you'd expect for a house that was built in the 2000 era, and currently what's being used on new homes being installed today. All right, so interesting finding here. This doesn't happen very often, but something here has happened to the to the plastic piping, the PVC piping here. So you can see here that there's a small hole in the left side wall of the pipe, and you can see that there's kind of some shatter cracks that are coming around the perimeter of that. Now, by the appearances of it, I think we might have a small saving grace. It appears that what is penetrating into the pipe is actually cement. So maybe, I'm just playing devil's advocate, but to rationalize this, maybe we've poured and put in a footer for the deck or for the pylons for the house, and cemented a footer in, and that this came in close contention with that, which then got contacted. Kind of makes sense. The timeline doesn't make sense to me, but that's how I could at least rationalize it. So, you know, if this pipe was cracked and broken and we had dirt falling into the pipe, I would be pretty concerned. But considering that it seems to be kind of plugged up with concrete, it's still not ideal. But I think this is kind of something where it's like, well, this has probably been like this for a while. Looks like it's doing just fine. I understand that that's it's a liability, but probably not something that has to be fixed. But at the same time, I can also rationalize, like, hey, that's not supposed to be like that, and you know, of course, we could make a replacement for that section there as well. That would just take identifying where is it at, digging it up, replacing that section. But again, playing devil's advocate, if it's close to something that has cement, I'm going to guess that it's probably going to be kind of interfering with the foundation, a footer post for the deck, something that we probably don't want to be interfering with unnecessarily. That's just my 2 cents. All right, so in here we're going to change pipe materials slightly. So everything we saw up to this point is kind of a white colored pipe. This is now a tealish blue-green colored pipe. This is also PVC, but we refer to this as SDR35. It's a slightly thinner wall material, but fairly durable. You see here the pipe is really dropping off at this point, so you have to keep in mind that the back patio area is having issues with settlement, and oh boy, we have got ourselves a mess right here. Don't mean to say that as an alarmist, but this pipe has failed. So you can see here in this area here that, and I'm trying to kind of figure out what I'm looking at, and I'm having a little trouble with this. I can tell there's shrapnel, there's pieces pulling, and I'll be honest with you now, I am now slightly fearful if I think about the progression of where this pipe has gone and how the stair-stepping of the retaining walls go in the backyard. If we kind of back up here, you'll see that, like, okay, the pipe was starting to kind of flatten out right there at that area. But if we go back to here, Okay, the pipe is literally dropping off in this area because, okay, the retaining wall is there and we need to kind of stair step our sewer line to the next level. And so in this area here, we've got something that's failed, something that's come apart. And as far as as far as waste is going to go, like this isn't going to work. So the correlation I'm making to this retaining wall is that, okay, the retaining wall seems to be having some issues, some sunken materials, and so when you have cracks and breakage, you end up with what's called undermining. Undermining is this process where basically, like, it's underground erosion. Water has to go somewhere. While it's doing that, it's washing away the dirt, and that causes for things to kind of collapse in on themselves. So now I'm kind of wondering, is this associated with some of the settlement that we're seeing in the patio area? Nevertheless, if we just leave that alone as just a statement by itself to look into, this pipe is not going to be successful in its current format. I'm surprised and slightly appalled, like we don't see a bunch of toilet paper and things kind of clogged up here in this area. So it must be finding its way through, but as far as long-term success goes, this has to be fixed. Beyond that standpoint, we're kind of in the early stages of this sewer line. There's a lot more sewer line beyond this point that still needs to be looked at, especially since I kind of think it probably goes down to the bottom of the lot to the adjacent street that's behind us here. If that's the case, I mean, we could have another 150, 200 feet of piping between where we're at now and where it needs to go. I don't know that with full proof, but I'm going to guess that a sewer lateral doesn't just run through the middle of the hillside for us to tie into. So pipe needs fixed. Look into how this could be affecting or need to affect the retaining walls or subsequent other damages. And then we need to scope the rest of this pipe once the repairs got completed. That way we can verify, has the rest of the pipe had any issues as well, or is this a sole issue? Follow-up by a plumber will be needed. That's where I'm going to leave this. This was Nick, Porcelain Home Inspections.